You may be expecting someone to introduce me, but I'm not like all the other guys. So, let me introduce myself. I'm Narco, top 1 player in the world for several seasons, and I'm risking my life teaching you how to become a pro player in a matter of days, giving you the most valuable tips and tricks you'll ever find. Sit down, relax, and enjoy. You see, there are many different players. Some of them have honour and engage in a clean fight, when others are afraid and play dirty. I never understood someone who plays dirty, and will never understand. One of the most wonderful qualities of a man is that we always have a desire to conquer something every day. The more we have, the more we want for us and for our loved ones. But when I see players playing dirty, it just disappoints me to an extreme level. When I get killed by someone better than me, I get mad for a little bit like any other human being, but instead of playing dirty, I take that anger and point it towards my evolution. I want to improve, and I want to get better always. If someone can kill me, I want to see what can be improved, so the next time we meet, I'm going to be the one laughing. I won't be able to lay on my bed and have a nice sleep thinking that the only way I can kill someone is by being toxic. And you have to know that in this game, and as well in real life, if you can take the easy path, you're gonna have a hard life. And if you take the hard path, you're gonna have an easy life. Just like this spotter user, he took the easy path and waited for me to get into the helicopter, and then to use his toxic class on me. Obviously, it didn't work, and when we were face to face, he was hardly able to hit me once. I guess the hard work has paid off. You have a lot of classes to choose. It's up to you if you want the easy path or the hard one. But if you take the easy path, remember that whenever you're face to face with someone who chooses the other way, he will make you kiss his legs as many times as he wants, and there's nothing you can do about it. I know which path I'd take. I don't like kissing legs. Waiting to see if someone else is moving around. I don't know yet if he's alone.
Airdrop has been delivered.
That's some other squad coming in.
Yep, his boys just arrived. Observe that they just killed the toxic guy. Those are not his boys then. This is the time when you have to understand that you may need to fight a full squad, plus some other teammates of the toxic guy. It's always good to add more players on your mind. That will keep you alert. Engaging with 2 players at once is already too much, but 3? Hell no. I need to reposition myself. All I can hope now is not to get shot from behind and be able to think my strategy in peace.
Airdrop incoming.
Listen carefully. I can only hear 2 different footsteps. Third one is in here. Change position. You can see a leg coming out through the smoke and there are no other footsteps around. That could mean that one of the guys stopped to revive the knocked one, while the other, as you can see, is looking for me. So the logic thing to do is to shoot them on the smoke and avoid that guy to be revived. There you have it. Another one trying to revive the same guy. I won't let that happen. Ah, great. They managed to revive him, but still I have the upper hand since I could knock down the one that came in to help. Now all I need is to shoot the revived one, because he'll run and cause me more trouble. Oh god, this paparazzi. I know I'm going to be blind for a few seconds, and during that time they'll try everything to kill me, because otherwise they can smell the death from close. Now, what am I going to do in this situation? Well, I won't be able to see anything, but I know for a fact that I have this little cover over here, so I'll try and go to the right side first, more or less until this point, and from there I'll turn again to the left. Hopefully that way I'll make him miss some shots, but once I recover my sight, he'll get what he deserves. More players arrived and they're having a beef. Well, let's put some salt on that beef, shall we? Oh, hello. Win through your actions, never through argument. In 1502, in Florence, Italy, an enormous block of marble stood in the works department of the Church of Santa Maria del Fiore. It had once been a magnificent piece of raw stone, but an unskillful sculptor had mistakenly bored a hole through it, where there should have been a figure's legs, generally mutilating it. Piero Soderini, Florence's mayor, had contemplated trying to save the block by commissioning Leonardo da Vinci to work on it, or some other master, but had given up, since everyone agreed that the stone had been ruined. So despite the money that had been wasted on it, it gathered dust in the dark halls of the church. This was where things stood until some Florentine friends of the great Michelangelo decided to write to the artist, then living in Rome. He alone, they said, could do something with the marble, which was still magnificent raw material. Michelangelo travelled to Florence, examined the stone, and came to the conclusion that he could in fact carve a fine figure from it by adapting the pose to the way the rock had been mutilated. Soderini argued that this was a waste of time. Nobody could salvage such a disaster. But he finally agreed to let the artist work on it. Michelangelo decided he would depict a young David, sling in hand. Weeks later, as Michelangelo was putting the final touches on the statue, Soderini entered the studio. Fancying himself a bit of a connoisseur, he studied the huge work and told Michelangelo that while he thought it was magnificent, the nose he judged was too big. Michelangelo realized that Soderini was standing in a place under the giant figure and did not have the proper perspective. Without a word, he gestured for Soderini to follow him up the scaffolding. Reaching the nose, he picked up his chisel, as well as a bit of marble dust that lay on the planks. With Soderini just a few feet below him on the scaffolding, Michelangelo started to tap lightly with the chisel, letting the bits of dust he had gathered in his hand to fall little by little. He actually did nothing to change the nose, but gave every appearance of working on it. After a few minutes of this charade, he stood aside. "Look at it now. I like it better," replied Soderini. "You've made it come alive." Interpretation. Michelangelo knew that by challenging the shape of the nose, he might ruin the entire sculpture. Yet Soderini was a patron who prided himself on aesthetic judgment. To offend such a man by arguing would not only gain Michelangelo nothing, it would put future commissions in jeopardy. Michelangelo was too clever to argue. His solution was to change Soderini's perspective, literally bringing him closer to the nose without making him realize that this was the cause of his misperception. Fortunately for posterity, Michelangelo found a way to keep the perfection of the statue intact, while at the same time making Soderini believe he had improved it. Such is the double power of winning through actions rather than argument. No one is offended, and your point is proven. In the realm of power, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on other people. The problem in trying to prove a point or gain a victory through argument is that in the end, you can never be certain how it affects the people you're arguing with. They may appear to agree with you politely, but inside, they may resent you. Or perhaps something you said inadvertently even offended them. Words have that insidious ability to be interpreted according to the other person's mood and insecurities. Even the best argument has no solid foundation, for we have all come to distrust the slippery nature of words. And days after agreeing with someone, we often revert to our old opinion out of sheer habit. Understand this, words are a dime a dozen. Everyone knows that in the heat of an argument, we will all say anything to support our cause. We will quote the Bible, refer to unverifiable statistics. Who can be persuaded by bags of air like that? Action and demonstration are much more powerful and meaningful. They are there before our eyes for us to see. Yes, now the statue's nose does look just right. There are no offensive words, no possibility of misinterpretation. As Baltzar Gracian remarks, the truth is generally seen, rarely heard. Soldiers, my mission ends here. My second YouTube channel is now on. This channel will be dedicated exclusively for live streams only. Go ahead and press that follow button if you want to see some real action. The link is in the description. I was Narco, #1 in the world for several seasons. Let me know if you have enjoyed my tips and tricks to bring you more. Cheers, mate.